You just heard Teenage Kicks song, or no, the song's Teenage Kicks. The group is the Undertones. This is the Mike Gormley Show, and with the special guest Frank Gallagher, Soundman extraordinaire. What's your website? What's that?
I have a podcast called, and there's some press and stuff that I've done, some articles for Mix Magazine and some other publications. It's soundmanconfidential.com.
Okay, we'll get it. Yeah, and we were chatting a bit before the break. We were talking about more like about sobriety and so on. But you have a thought about some mental illness is it just within the music industry, the musicians, or I know that I know it's a bit of a point for you to try to.
Yeah, it's everywhere in society, of course. There's mental illness everywhere in society. I think it gets magnified a lot when you're artists. Artists are putting their soul out there, and it's a very difficult thing for an artist to do that.
Yeah.
To put and then get the adulation of 5 or 10 or 500 people every night, and then go back to a hotel room on your own, uh, with the applause ringing in your ear, but nothing to fill that hole. And a lot of people fill that hole with drugs and alcohol, or self-medicate in other ways. And it's I don't know if the spotlight is on us as an industry, because people always like to hear about people going. I mean, they had a fucking show about going to rehab. You know, that just disgusted me. Because that's nobody's business, and people judging and pointing fingers.
Yeah.
You can't judge. That rule one: don't judge. But it's gotten better now. It's definitely gotten better now.
Well, it's
There's
being
less.
talked about, right? Even musicians, it's a part of the discussion. In the past, it was just everybody was doing it. Now, you're learning about the downfalls from veterans.
Well, you're learning, and yeah, and you're learning that there is help available.
Yeah.
Before the internet, who knew? You know, the press didn't even the press didn't say too much about it unless somebody OD'd, by which time it was too late to help them.
Yeah.
But now people are aware that there's help out there, and they can avail themselves of it, because it is and also the artist from day one, the authors do their best work when they're drinking Hemingway and Kerouac and all, that whole genre of people who thought, I did my best work drunk and high. And a lot of people are attracted to that lifestyle because they just wanted to get drunk and high, not to write a book.
Well, there's
you
also
know
a cool factor. There's somehow
yeah
it looks cool and draws
yeah
people in that way.
yeah yeah uh, but these days, and also the internet exposes a lot of people. There's no hiding place anymore.
Uh,
You can't turn around without somebody sticking a camera in your face, or recording you surreptitiously. you know it's but the resources available now, like Music Cares was mentioned, is they help a lot of people, and I support them.
mhm.
I support them because it's
Well,
still going on.
that's
It's
the
just a
point.
lot less.
You support them, but many people are supporting people who are getting into it or have had problems. And there's more of a support world now than there is because people were trying to talk you into it in the crazy days.
Oh
And
yeah. Well, they
and
didn't have to talk me into it. I
you
ran
just
into it. Hey, I
well,
had a lot of fun. Let me tell you, I had a lot of fun till it became really bad for my health, and I could have quite easily passed. Not ODing on heroin. I never got into heroin, but just ODing on booze and drugs,
yeah,
cocaine mainly.
it
Yeah,
was just part of the landscape.
yeah, it was there. It was there. It was actually a lot of drug dealing financed bands back then, too.
Really, you knew
Oh
about
yeah, I'm not going to name names, but there were a lot of drug dealers funneling money into, I won't call it laundering. They were supporting the arts. But
that?
when it was a cash business.
And so they'd help bands get on the road, and
Yeah, yeah,
that's,
and take the loss.
yeah. But
Take
why?
the loss.
Why would they do that? Why? What would they getting out of it?
They're cleaning up some money.
Ah, that's just a money laundering thing.
Washing, I'd say washing. Rinsing, rinsing.
Rinse and dry.
Yeah. I hope I don't look as red on camera as I do in here right now, because my camera, I've got no light in this room. I
Well,
look red.
I look like a kind of a ghost, so we're
Yeah,
okay.
you're ghostly.
I'm like a floating head. It's not a talking head.
Aye, no.
Uh, you've played some interesting, or we should tell people that you provided us with a list of songs you wanted to have them here,
Yeah.
and some of them like Doogie McLean and Teenage Kicks, I'd not heard of. Is this from your travels, or these where you finding them?
The Undertones were a sire band, so we'd see them. And Teenage Kicks is just quite possibly the best rock and roll single ever made.
Really?
There's a great movie. There's a great movie about Belfast and about the Undertones. It's called. Look it up. It's a movie. Okay, I can't remember the
About
name.
the Undertones.
Yes, about the making of that record and about a promoter and a record store owner in Belfast. Uh, it's fabulous.
Interesting.
But and Dougie MacLean is you know, I was into the folk scene as well at one point. Not mixing it. There was no mixing involved, but I was just a fan, you know, of early Scottish folk singers, and Dougie came later, but he's in that genre. A great song. Great
So
song.
about your podcast, you've got you do it regularly, but not necessarily every week.
Yeah, I do it when I can. I do it when I feel like it and when I've got a guest that I want to talk to. When I can get somebody on that makes sense for me and gets my interest, and yeah, it's not to make a living. It's a hobby.
No, no.
It's my
Okay.
hobby.
It's, and you find it, people can find it through your website.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
And just give
yeah.
us the website name again, just to be sure.
Yeah, soundmanconfidential.com.
Excellent.
And we're gonna I the latest episode is quite interesting.
Okay.
It's Bill Bentley, who you know,
Uh-huh.
who curated a Lou Reed covers record. The
Yeah.
opening track was by Keith Richards. He's got Lucinda Williams on there. It's a staggering work. And I mean, I love hearing stories about Lou Reed. I've met Lou Reed a few times, obviously, with the Chris and Tina connection and the New York underground scene back then.
Mhm.
But yeah, he gave me some really good Lou Reed stories. Well, now that Lou's no longer with us, we can say what we
We
like.
can talk about them.
Yeah, we can talk about him.
It's well, who else has been on the show that attracted your attention?
Um, well, I got Steve Lillywhite, the producer, and Ed Stasium, the producer. I like producers because I did a bit of production myself, and we don't talk gear. That's the other thing. We don't talk about gear. We talk about the life and to me, the artist I work with, and I've been very fortunate to sit in front of greatness. You know, I can only be as good as what's coming off the stage. If it's not coming off the stage, I can't make it up.
Sure.
You know, I can't. It's not possible.
The
Uh,
movie, by the way, I got a little note here. It's Good Vibrations.
Good vibrations.
Yeah. It's a story of a what, you know, like you said, a record store owner. I think it was Terry Crew.
Terry, yeah, Terry. Oh,
Yeah.
and he put them in a demo studio and went away, and he came back, and the engineer was sitting with his feet up on the console, and Terry was saying, well, he thought it had failed, you know, the
Mhm.
session had failed, and it turned out to be they got nailed Teenage Kicks in like 2.5 hours.
Okay. And he was supported more of the punk movement.
Yeah, and he wasn't in it for the money. He gave the Undertones to Sire Records for 500 quid.
You're right. He wasn't in it for the money.
No,
No.
no, he wasn't that kind of person.
Well, that sounds like a really good, do you know where it's available? Netflix or something like that, or?
Yeah, you can find it. I'm sure you
Yeah,
can find it on Amazon.
Good Vibrations is the name of the movie.
Yeah.
You may get a Beach Boys song while you're searching for it, but no, it's a movie. It's a movie. Um, well, it's really great having you here, and I always look forward to chatting with you. We're going to roll on out of here with another Frank Gallagher choice, and it's I Want to Come Over, Melissa Etheridge. And it's what's this? Did you work with her?
Yeah, I worked with her last year. I jumped in to help out when one of our guys had a medical issue, and I jumped in at the last minute and did about a dozen shows with her. Um, Unrehearsed. I was just straight into the fray, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Sound check one,
It's
but
gonna
they had
be
a console already dialed up. But she was just stunning. She blew me away. She blew me away.
now. We only have a little bit of time, but you talk about jumping in like that, and I know you're knowledgeable and professional, but it's got to be a little nerve-wracking to just pop into somebody else's chair and another.
Yeah, yeah, but I, I don't try and emulate what I saw one show looking over the guy's shoulder before he jumped off the tour,
Uh,
and I had his console, I had his mix, so I basically took that, but I made it my own a little bit. Didn't change it too much, uh, but I put stuff a little bit further in your face than he did.
uh,
I'm more of a, I like a punk edge, you know. The B-52s I mix disco on the bottom end and punk rock on the top, and that's the best they've ever sounded is doing it like that,
Fantastic.
my way.
So you got some Skunk Baxter dates coming up,
I
and
got some Skunk Baxter dates coming up. Really looking forward to that with some special guests coming in
yeah.
to take part in a little shoot in Nashville, and yeah,
Oh,
I'm
great.
keen.
Well, all the best with that and your busy life. By the way, Good Vibrations is on Amazon. I keep getting little pieces of
I'm
information.
going to watch it tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to watch it again tonight
All
because
right, Frank.
it's a true story.
I'll watch it. I'll see it. Um, and we'll see. I just got a note again, and we're coming back in a little bit. So we'll just take a break now and come back later with a wrap it up session. Mike Gormley Show with Frank Gallagher. We'll be back in a minute.